Yo, what's going on guys? Sponge here, welcome back to another NBA video. So today we're going to be taking a look at the LeBron James was robbed again, or was he? So this video is made by JxmyHighroller, so make sure to go to his channel, hit like, subscribe, because he's the one who made this video. So there have been talks in the NBA community whether Giannis deserved the MVP over LeBron James. And a lot of people are saying that LeBron deserved the MVP more than Giannis because LeBron James is in the finals and Giannis he's out. He's been knocked out in the second round. But my thoughts on that are the MVP award is strictly about the regular season. It doesn't care about the playoffs or the finals. So I don't know why people are complaining that Giannis didn't deserve it. He deserved it. Just look at his regular season stats. It blows LeBron James' stats out of the water. So yeah, it doesn't care about the finals or the playoffs whatsoever. So I don't get why people are complaining that he didn't deserve the MVP. If the MVP award was about the entire season, regular season and the playoffs, then yeah, LeBron James does deserve it more than Giannis. So I'm excited to see what JxmyHighroller is about to say. So let's go.
This past week, Giannis Antetokounmpo won his second NBA MVP. Only the 12th player in league history to win the award in back-to-back seasons, and only the 3rd player to win MVP and Defensive Player of the Year in the same season, joining Hakeem Olajuwon and Michael Jordan as the only players to accomplish this feat. At only 25 years old, Giannis has ascended to all-time levels. But after an ugly second-round exit in this year's playoffs, there has been furious backlash
the
by
Heat
many
are
NBA
such a great
fans
team,
saying Giannis did not deserve the MVP, and that LeBron James was robbed of the award. At face value, this sounds like a decent argument.
So even LeBron
one of them
was
is
mad.
at home watching the playoffs, and the other is pushing violently towards his fourth championship.
Yeah.
But how much truth is there to this bold claim? Was LeBron James really robbed of his 5th MVP? Or was Giannis truly the most valuable player in the NBA this season?
Okay. Enlighten us, Mr.
Today's video is
JxmyHighroller.
brought to you by Swagbucks. Now, first I want to show you guys something very interesting. A chart. I know.
Yep.
Big surprise.
A very classic
So here are the
JxmyHighroller
top
video.
100 players in the entire NBA, with player efficiency rating on the x-axis and real box plus minus on the y-axis. Two advanced stats that give some perspective to how productive, efficient, and valuable players are. The further up and the further right, the better. As you can see, most players fall down here. This isn't bad or anything. Keep in mind, only 1 in 4 players even make this chart. As you go up, you'll begin to see outliers. And as you go further, you get into superstar territory. Kawhi, Jokic, Harden, and way at the top, in his own stratosphere, is LeBron James, the man who was apparently robbed of this year's MVP. So, where's Giannis?
Where's Giannis? Yeah.
Right about here. So
See?
far above his
I
competition,
told you, his stats
would
are
think
insane,
he had
man.
a perfect regular season. And that's because he nearly did. This season, Giannis led the league in field goals, defensive rebounds, PER, defensive rating, defensive win shares per 48,
was a
plus
beast.
minus, and defensive box plus minus. All of this while carrying the Bucks to the best record in the NBA and averaging 29, 14, and 6 a game. The only other player to put up numbers like this in the last 35 seasons was a peak Shaquille O'Neal. Because Giannis's regular season was
it's
so
almost
good,
similar.
that rather than comparing him to other players this year, a more appropriate comparison would be to all-time historic seasons. Giannis finished the regular season with the 9th highest box plus minus of all time, the 8th highest defensive box plus minus of all time, and the highest player efficiency rating in the history of the NBA. Beating Will Chamberlain's record that stood for nearly 60 years.
It did.
For perspective, no other player in the entire league cracked any of these lists this season. So, what do LeBron's numbers look like compared to Giannis?
He broke a record.
Well, despite LeBron having an incredible 17th season, Giannis beats him in points per game, rebounds per game, blocks per game, true shooting percentage, and led his team to more wins. But we all know these numbers aren't great indicators of a player's impact. So what about some of the more advanced stats? Well, Giannis tops LeBron in just about every single one of those as well. His game isn't the prettiest. He doesn't have any true skill set to fall back on. But the MVP award, and
Bully
I
ball
cannot stress
game,
this enough,
like Shaq.
is a regular season award. And in this
See?
year's regular season,
told you.
Giannis was about as unstoppable as any player has ever been. We already know what he's going to do when his 7-foot frame comes barreling down the court, and yet no one was able to do anything about it. You try to stick him with a big man, and Giannis is way too quick and athletic to guard. You try to stick him with a smaller defender, we all know how that goes.
Yeah,
the
it's
MVP
over.
award is given to the player with the best regular season, not the best
Best
player in the league.
regular
But the most
season.
common knock circulating about Giannis' second MVP is that he didn't show up when it mattered most in the playoffs, so he can't possibly be the most valuable player. And although there is some truth to this statement, this is simply not how the award works. NBA Talks on Instagram conducted an interesting experiment seeing who would have gotten the MVP if the award included the postseason. He looked at the last 20 seasons and replaced the actual MVP with who he felt would have gotten the award if
Kobe
their
deserved
playoff
more
performance
MVP.
was
I told
taken
you.
into consideration.
I think,
With
well,
a few
everyone,
adjustments of my own,
everyone
this is
knows
what that
Kobe
list
deserved
looks
more
like.
MVP
Of
than
the
one.
last 20 seasons, only 8 of the actual MVP winners would have won the award if it included the playoffs. 8. For example, in the 2016-2017 regular season, Russell Westbrook won the MVP, and his team nearly got swept in the first round of the playoffs. In 2007, Dirk Nowitzki won league MVP and then got bounced
that
out
was-
of the first
yeah, that was
round
even
by
worse.
an overachieving Warriors team. Now,
That was
do
even
I
worse.
agree with all of the MVP winners over the last 20 seasons? No. There are a few MVP awards that were given out strictly because of the narrative, and we all know how much the media loves a good narrative. But not this one. Giannis earned this MVP based off of merit, and believe it or not, value. So the main problem here is that fans view the regular season MVP as an award that covers both the regular season and the playoffs, when in reality, the playoffs are a different season altogether. This is why regular season stats and playoff stats are completely separated. This is why the voting for regular season awards is completed before the playoffs even begin. This is why there is literally an MVP award.
we basically said the same
for
thing.
The playoffs.
The MVP
if you want to make the
is
argument
strictly
that the
for the
postseason
regular
should
season.
be factored in when voting for the MVP, well then that's a completely separate argument. At that point, you are changing the criteria for the award. And although I can see the argument, there is a reason why the regular season MVP award is completely separated from the playoffs. In some cases, the most valuable player can provide immense value to a team, but that doesn't necessarily translate to them being a top contender. In the 1987-1988 season, Michael Jordan racked up the highest win share total in modern NBA history of 21.2,
Jesus
which means
Christ,
MJ
Michael
was
Jordan.
single-handedly responsible for 43% of the Bulls' wins that season. He was by far the most valuable player that year, and he rightfully received the award. So what was the result for this historic season for Michael and his team? A second-round exit and a gentleman's sweep to the Detroit Pistons. Was Isaiah Thomas more valuable than Michael Jordan that season? The Lakers
Clearly
went on
not.
to win the championship. So was Magic Johnson more valuable than MJ that season? No, they weren't. But since Mike hadn't found the right situation yet, and since other teams were dominating the league that season, by the logic of some fans, Mike wasn't the most valuable player that season, just like how some fans are arguing Giannis was not the most valuable player this season.
They'll say that
But he
at
was.
least Jordan showed up
And
in the
it
big
wasn't
finals,
even
unlike
close.
Giannis.
And we haven't even discussed
I
the
bet you
quality
they'll
of
say
help
that.
Giannis and LeBron are getting respectively. This season, both LeBron and Anthony Davis made first-team All-NBA, a feat that hasn't happened since Steve Nash and Amari Stoudemire did it back in 2007. But even more rare is the amount of times a player has won league MVP while playing with another first-team All-NBA teammate since the league expanded back in 1974. Here is the full list of duos to ever accomplish this feat.
There's only one, right? It was the Sixers? No, it's Moses
That's
Malone and Julius
That's the
Erving.
whole list. Only once in 46 years has a player won regular season MVP
Oh yeah, it was
while
the
playing
Sixers.
alongside a first-team All-NBA teammate. So
I'm
when
having-
you consider the numbers, the impact,
I'm having trouble
the
thinking.
sheer dominance, the broken records, and the value, it becomes strikingly clear why Giannis won the MVP. To say that LeBron James was robbed would question the validity of nearly every regular season MVP ever won. This award does not care about the playoffs. It doesn't care about how pretty your game is or how deep your offensive bag is. Granted, it doesn't always go to the most deserving player. This season, the voters got it right. Giannis was far and away the most valuable player in the 2019-2020 NBA season, and his resume grows once again, now creeping towards levels only all-time greats have reached. Hope you all enjoyed, and as always, until next time.
Yeah, it's crazy. And he's still very young. So, yeah, told you that Giannis deserves his MVP. So we basically said the same thing. Told you I have basketball IQ. That the NBA MVP award is strictly about the regular season. It doesn't care about any of the rounds, first, second, conference, or even NBA finals. It's strictly about the regular season. So yeah, Giannis really deserves his MVP. And by the way, another great video from JxmyHighroller. If you haven't seen his channel, check it out. He's a great NBA YouTuber. Deserves all the like and subscribe. And if you guys enjoy our content so far, make sure hit like, subscribe, click the notification bell down there so you can get notifications on our daily uploads. And of course, follow our Instagram page to post updates there when I finish editing a video or when I post it so you guys can know when to look up the channel. And yeah, a really great video from JxmyHighroller, as I've said. And in case I don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, good night.